And then he was like, Mimi, Charlie, this lady, you have to find her and talk to her. I'm like, which lady is that? He said, come and see. And then, page after page, he kept showing me videos of a lady on a bike and Charlie going, enjoying her life and talking about riding from the border back to Accra and some accident that head on. I was like, oh, who is this lady? What's going on here? Who is this talking passionately about risk like that? So I took the trouble and I researched, and it's Bikergirl. You guys have probably seen her in town and didn't even realize that she's the one riding. But here's something: if you hang around Shaibu is quite a popular rider as well. Now, so they have this group of guys who ride. That's like a hobby, right? A lot of times around the trade fair area, isn't it? Around the trade fair area. The N1, yes. So the guys who ride there's a lady who is with them almost all the time. Yeah? Her passion, I thought I knew passion until I heard her story. And I said, no, you don't know what passion is. You don't understand what passion is at all. So I reached out to Shaibu, and Shaibu was very kind. He responded very quickly. And I told Shaibu, I want to speak to Elsa. I want to speak to the Bikergirl. Okay, I'll speak with her. And in the studio with me is Bikergirl. Guys, if you wonder who I'm talking about, go on Instagram and look for Bikergirl. Just type the handle Bikergirl and you will understand who Bikergirlel.
Yes.
For Elsa. Yes. Hi, Elsa. Charlie, you're branding you don't joke with it at all.
That's how you found me.
I know. I mean, big ups to the way you brand yourself. I mean, it's beyond a passion. It's a lifestyle. It's what you live, right? Please come closer a bit to my microphone so I can hear you.
Okay.
Thanks for, first of all, accepting my invitation to come on the 3FM Drive. How's your day been so far?
It's pretty stressful day. I had some meetings early this morning. Then I went to the office and I had to juggle around the Accra traffic to get here on time.
Yeah.
Because I don't do Ghana time. If you give me 4 o'clock, I was here by 3:40.
I know. I mean, I was in another interview when your call was coming through. I'm like, Elsa is already here.
Yes, I am.
You're punctual like that.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. What do you do for a living, though, on a regular day?
So I am a consultant for 3 French companies, and I'm also a businesswoman. Anything that brings money, I'm there.
Yeah.
As long as it's legit business.
Legit.
And then I also have a foundation that I set up in my son's memory. We talk about that later on.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO of that, so I do a lot of stuff there as well.
You get very busy. I mean, 3 French companies and foundation work and then business on the side. Yeah, Charlie. Nice. Who's Elsa? What's your full name?
Elsa Owusu Sapong.
Elsa Owusu Sapong. Talk to us about growing up and all of that.
Okay, so I was born to a Ghanaian dad from Ashanti region in Kumasi, and my mother is French.
All right.
I was born in France. I came to Ghana when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
I lived in Kumasi.
Is it?
I finished secondary school in Kumasi, St. Louis.
Okay.
I went to the UK when I was 17.
Right.
So I did my first degree, my postgraduate, and my master's degree in the UK.
Right.
Greenwich University, where I had my 2 kids.
Okay.
My son, Richard, and then my daughter, Zara.
Nice.
And we moved back to Ghana in 2008.
Okay.
When my son was 7 then, and Zara was just about 5 months old. And so, I've tried to build my life from there back in Ghana. They say it's not easy, but home is home. Wherever you go, after some time, you tend to migrate and want to come back home.
Absolutely.
So, Elsa is a Bikergirlel. That's what everyone knows me as on all my handles. A very simple girl, easygoing. Life is short.
Life it is.
If I tell you a bit of my background and what I've been through, my story.
I want to hear it all. Let's go back to, the Ashanti region as a kid and all of that. I mean, what was it like growing up in the Ashanti region as a kid? Was your mom around all the time?
Yeah, my mom's white. So for me, growing up in Kumasi, everybody thinks I'm white. Brony, because so it's like you never fit in there because they see you as white. When you go to France, you don't fit in there because
you're not exactly
see you as
white.
black.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I think that to be born of 2 backgrounds, 2 heritages, you get the best of both worlds.
Right.
African culture and the European culture.
Right.
I loved it.
Was your dad strict?
Very, very strict.
Is it?
All the things he didn't want me to do and he forbid me from doing, including motorcycling, is one of the things. I started riding at the age of 45.
Are you kidding me?
He said he would never allow me to ride because it's too dangerous. And at 45 years old.
And at the time that she was telling you, I'll never let you ride, you how old were you then?
16, 17, 18. I dated a biker back then.
That's where it started from.
And back in the days, riding was now it's even a little bit more. Back in the days, it was very out of the norm
Yeah,
to ride
absolutely.
and stuff, especially in Kumasi.
Yeah.
But 45 years, I decided I was going to ride.
17 when you met the biker.
I dated some guy back then, just short fling thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
and he
is,
was a biker then?
Yes.
So that's what your dad suspected. I'll call you my hair, you're a biker.
Yes, I was so that. Because of that boy, he sent me to the UK.
But I get a feeling, and correct me if I'm wrong, you come across as a child, I call very adventurous.
Very, very. Hard drink. But I think when you are very restricted as a child by your parents, it actually has the reverse effects.
Is it?
So I didn't bring up mine that way.
Right.
You have to teach them wrong from right. This is but what Adebi Obeka said, don't do. It's the natural order of things is you are attracted to go there and do it.
And see why you're told not to do it.
So it's restricting and not allowing to go out and don't do.
Yeah.
You actually push the person to that's what you don't want them to do is where they're actually going to go.
Exactly.
So yeah, I have been, and I mean throughout my whole adult life, all the things I wasn't able to do, I make sure that I'm doing all of them.
Like what? Aside biking.
Everything. I'm not going to say that here.
At least the ones that are radio friendly.
I mean, traveling the world, meeting people. I like to go out. I like to dance. I like music. I like blending and mixing with people from all backgrounds and cultures.
What kind of genres do you love as far as music is concerned?
I like my hip life and my Niger.
Nice,
I like my hip life and my Niger.
Any particular artists that really, make you take?
I like Stoneboy.
Nice.
I like Stoneboy. I like Shatawale.
Okay.
Reggie Rock Stone was my friend. We grew up together back in the days when he started writing his first album and stuff.
Okay.
But I think life is short. If I tell you a bit about my story, so I started writing in 2022 in May. My son was 21 years old. He was writing.
We're gonna get there, but let's still. I'm trying to let people know and appreciate the Bikergirlel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure as a young person you had dreams. Yeah. You had, what did you want it to become growing up? I mean, when you were in uni and all of that?
I mean, when I was a teenager and I wanted to work with the FBI or CIA, I think it's from all these movies I was watching.
Okay.
And then private detective and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and then the dimension of the order of things change and all that. But I grew up and realized that Sika BBI is money. However, you can make money.
It comes down to the money. Yeah. It comes down to making money.
I don't like anything that's too stressful. I'm quite easy.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who needs billions to be happy. Right. Happiness is what you make of your life.
Right.
And it's the simplest things. I don't believe that money ultimately is what makes you happy. Yeah, you need money to realize some of your dreams and all that. But, explore the world. Yeah. See new things, meet people. Do the things that you've always wanted to do. Don't sit back and when you're old one day and you can't do those things. Exactly. Life is short.
You had siblings? Or you were just an only child?
I have 2 siblings and then 3 other siblings as well. So total 6. Yeah. 2 direct from my mom and 3 others.
I mean, watching how you interact with the male bikers, right?
Yeah.
I get a feeling that growing up, you're kind of girl who made friends with the guys more than
I was very tomboyish from when I was young. I love hanging with the guys. The guys is pamper you, they take care of you, they spoil you.
Okay.
Women, we are full of drama. I say we are. You know what I'm talking about. In the work environment, everywhere is drama. You keep your female friends to a bare minimum and you're happy, and that's what it is. So if people don't know you well, they think, they might have different perceptions, but it's just
people misunderstand your personality, and what do they think of you? I mean, what are some of the things you
I don't know what they think of me. They don't have the guts to tell me to my face, but I can only assume that some shallow-minded person might think that every person they see me hanging with, there's more to it than that. But they're all my male friends. I call them my brothers. I learn a lot. I know a lot about how guys behave and how guys think just because I'm always around guys. I mean, sometimes I even tend to think that me, myself, my thinking and my analogy is like a male person more than a feminine person.
Your body, you have a female body, but you think that you were born a male.
No, my perception in life sometimes is more probably masculine than feminine.
Yes. Right, right.
Yeah, so
let's talk about discovering bikes, right? When did that all start?
I mean, from very young, when I was 16, 17, I realized that I was interested. I dated a guy who was a biker back then, and then I started hanging around with a lot of bikers and stuff. Okay. So I realized that this was something I liked.
What was it about them that really intrigued you?
It's the adrenaline, the speed, the power, the control.
Really?
I tried riding once or twice. I remember I dropped his bike. I bent my leg. That was the end of it. I didn't ride again for some time. I didn't sit on the bike again, actually. And a year later, I was in the UK, actually. I studied, did my first degree, my postgrad, my master's, had my kids. Life just went by. Came back to Ghana. And one of my friends was like, hey, riding, we should start riding. We should start riding. I said, yeah, we should. So then she just started sending me pictures from the internet about these girls that are all dressed up and all riding and that. And then she actually gave me a contact for the riding school. There's a Gear Shift Academy. It's like a proper training academy.
Here in Ghana?
Behind the UGMC hospital, the back gate. Gear Shift Academy. She gave me the number for one of the partners there and said, call him and, join this. Let's go and ride. So I called him and then something came up. It never happened. He's like, you need a helmet. You need all the stuff. And I'm like, I don't have any of those things yet. Like, it was a requirement then, so I just boycotted it. And then COVID came.
Yeah.
And then the next year again, 2022, I called him again. Maybe she came again on this same subject, maybe March, April. I said, okay, so I called him.
Yeah.
He gave me all the criteria of what to get. And this time I got them.
Right. So you needed a helmet, you needed your own bike, you needed shields.
You need a helmet, your riding jacket, your riding gloves, knee guards, and riding boots.
Okay.
And then so it's over like an 8-week period or something. And after the first 4 weeks or so, you need your own bike to finish your training.
Right.
So I got all my stuff.
That's pretty expensive. I mean, talking about your own bike after 6 weeks and 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean exactly. So it's a sport which it's a little bit
expensive.
It's a little bit expensive. So there's no point going to start riding if you don't get your bike because you don't really finish the training.
Right.
So so I did. I started riding on it. My friend never did actually.
Oh, the one that recommended. Okay.
I started riding on the 7th or 8th of May 2022. I remember it was Mother's Day that day. I started riding. I was 45. I remember the guy came, one of the main partners of this. He looked at my form and he said, you're not too old to ride. I said, what do you mean by that? Like, I'm offended. Why? Do I look old? He said, no, but your age on the form, a woman at that age, like, I think they had instances where 1 or 2 women my age group had come and they taught them how to ride and they never
came back
materialized into anything when they finished. And I'm like, nah, I want to ride and I don't just want to ride.
Yeah.
I want to ride and like, they'll say, hey, this woman, like she rides. I want to make something out of it. I'm not just going to ride I want to ride for really like you ride. Like,
okay.
So yeah, I started riding. The passion began to grow. Began to grow. So I remember my son telling me how dangerous riding was and how he didn't want me to ride.
Now, before you went to learn how to ride, was your son already riding?
Yes.
You bought him a bike?
He wanted a bike so badly.
Okay.
So my son, from when he was very young, like 9, 10, 11, he had his bike hidden somewhere already. Was riding. I didn't even know.
You didn't even know?
People used to tell me, look, your son has a bike hidden here. He's riding people's bike. He's always had a passion for riding. He always wanted to get him a bike. And I'm like, it's dangerous. And, I saw the adrenaline in me. He had it times 10. I think that mixed race blood is hot.
Wow, also.
That boy is fire. So I'm like, I get you the bike eventually, and he was trying to work my mind, work with the traffic, and now you.
How old was he then?
When he wanted to start riding, or later on when I started.
No, when you
riding?
got him the bike.
No. The bike mattered. It comes. I'll tell you how that came about.
Okay.
So I didn't even get him the bike. That bike was my bike. Supposed to be my bike.
All right.
So when I was. So he was riding his friends' bikes and he didn't actually own his own bike at the time.
Okay.
He said he wanted to get his own bike. Then I said I was going to ride. So I got a bike. 900cc bike. And when I went to the riding school,
How much was that?
900cc, the capacities.
Okay, but how much was it? Ghana cedis.
I mean, the prices back then are not insignificant. Now the prices are double or triple what they were 3 years ago.
Okay, how much are we looking at?
Oh, back then the bike was maybe 40,000 cedis. For that bike now you're looking at 100k or 120k.
Wow.
Yes.
At the time, it was 40,000 Ghana cedis.
2022, yes. And now it's almost triple the price. So the bike, it was too powerful for me to start riding with.
Right.
For a beginner. So my instructor said he won't allow me to use that bike. So I got a lower cc bike and tried to sell that bike off. It wasn't really. Junior was like, "Man, give me the bike, give me the bike." The bike was just there. Like I said, Junior, this bike is really powerful, and Eventually, he was gonna buy his bike anyway.
Yeah.
He was gonna go buy his bike. He started looking at other bikes, and the bike is there.
Right.
Why are you gonna let him spend another money when? So
There was a bike that was there.
This was in May, around the same time that I started riding. And
This is May of 2021.
2022.
Right.
He was looking at bikes. He was going to buy his bike anyway. So this bike is there, and its money has been spent. So, I had people lash out, say all kinds of stuff that I killed my son because I bought him a bike and blah blah blah. He was buying his bike anyway. What will a mother do rather than spend your money? The thing
Right.
is,
But did you know what kind of bike he wanted to buy?
it was the same.
It was the same. Okay.
Same capacity of bike. Like
Right.
So he's been riding. Do you know what I mean? The misfortunes happen. It doesn't matter.
But
if you
before, you said that you heard people say, "Oh, okay, I've seen your son riding and all of that." Did you ever see him?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Very good rider.
Okay, he was a good rider.
He's been riding for a long time.
Right.
So even when I started riding, he used to ride along with me, and he was very anxious, like telling me how dangerous riding is.
Oh, he used to tell you?
Yes, and how he didn't want me to ride because I'm his only mom in the world. If something happens to me, and I'm like, you're my only son. I don't want anything to happen to you either. So then when I came out of the riding school, we used to ride together and stuff. And I remember him telling me the last ride we had was on September the 4th, which would have been the Sunday.
Okay.
And he told me how proud he was of me, of how well my riding had gone and how I had improved and all that. And I said to him how I appreciated the fact that even though it's such a dangerous sport, he has managed to accept that I will ride and support me, because I know it cannot be easy as a son and who is a biker, knowing that, and 4 days later he had an accident and he passed away.
In September?
On the 8th of September, 2022.
On the bike that you gave him?
Yeah. In September 2022 on the Mahama Road.
So he left in the morning. Where was he going? Or what time of the day did he leave home?
So he used to start his dad's during the week and come on weekends because his dad was closer to his university, UPS.
Okay.
We are in Oyarifa, so
right.
Because of traffic and stuff. So he went about his normal day. One of our cars was at something they did on it at the workshop. So he called me at 4:35 on video call,
right.
FaceTime. He had his helmet up here. I'll never forget. We finished talking. Or maybe you can't know. Since he said we need to do some post or something. Love you, Mumsy. He calls me Mumsy.
Right.
Blew me kisses. That was it. By 8 o'clock, I was standing by him, lifeless. At 37, identify him. So from there, apparently when he finished speaking to me, he went home to eat. Then he went to the polo club. He also rides horses.
What happened?
Polo.
What happened?
It's not even clear what happened. So many stories. He said a pedestrian crossed him. It wasn't even a car. A pedestrian crossed him.
On the highway.
From Palace traffic light, going down towards the Airport Hills runabout.
Yeah.
There's this thing in the middle of the two sides of the road. Like you don't expect. Apparently someone climbed over it and crossed him. It's not a pedestrian or something.
No, it's not.
Like,
yeah.
The guy just
like
came from
the island in the middle of a road.
About 7:30 p.m. And that road is not very lighted.
And this pedestrian was on foot or was also riding?
On foot.
And in his attempt to...
It's very weird. I don't know. The stories are plenty. I don't even want to delve into it. A year later, someone comes and says they saw a car hit him from behind and drive off. And I don't even want to... the injuries and stuff, there's no indication that there was a car involved in it. There was hardly anything on the bike. Even on him, apart from one arm that was broken, there was nothing. It was just head injury, internal bleed, and the neck was snapped. There was nothing external. Like cameras. They said there's cameras. Paid so much money. Followed. Eventually, they said because of the construction, you know that road which is now open, that Mahama road. You know the intersection, big from East Legon coming.
Who called you?
It's so funny. So he where he stayed at his dad's during the week.
Yeah.
His best friend stayed 5 minutes away from there.
Right.
His best friend called Vatan rides the same bike as him, Kawasaki Z900. His best friend was coming from South Africa that night. So he was going to go home, go shower, and go meet his best friend. His best friend's mom called me. I hadn't heard from her for a long time. She called me, hey, how am I, blah, blah, blah. It's been a while. I said, hey, today I'm lucky. What happened? Like, how did you call me today? She says, oh, just checking on me and blah, blah, blah. And then she says, oh, by the way, have I heard from Richard this evening? I said, oh, no, we spoke around 4 or 5. And she said, oh, they say one of their friends have had an accident. And then she mentioned some bike, which is not his bike, an MT-09. And so they're trying to call around all the bikers and things. And they haven't been able to reach Richard. So if I can call him and see. And immediately I panicked. She said, but they said an MT-09. His bike is a Kawasaki 900, right? And I'm like, yeah, but his bike is not a common bike. She says the police came to her house, actually, to her house, to come and identify that this person's lying. So then I started calling him. Calling. I called like 10, 15, 20 times. He wasn't picking. I just started crying. I knew. His sister was in the house. Then she called me again, the lady. She said, have you heard from... She didn't say anything. She said, they've taken the biker that had the accident to 37. Let's go and see that he's okay. We are near Korea. This is what she said. But she already knew. But, for someone to drive all the way to people from Oyaifa, so they just wanted to try and manage me for me to get there. But I just knew. I called like 2 people and I said, listen, he's not picking his phone. Where the accident has happened is 5 minutes from his house. He rides on that road with his best friend every day. I've called him like 20-something times. He hasn't picked my phone calls. Like 3 or 4 people I know I'm calling and not picking my phone call. I know that is a problem. And I know that the police probably got it wrong with the bike. So as we were going, we got to Medina Roundabout.
What was going through your head? Leaving with GV, were you even aware of your environment as you were leaving home to go to the hospital?
I don't even know how I managed to go with my daughter sitting in the front of a car.
And you were driving?
Yeah. I don't even know. So we got to a Medina traffic light, and then one of his friends called me and tells her they've put the bike on one of the bikers' platforms, Rich's bike. So he said. So my daughter was...
And you were at other traffic lights at the time?
My daughter was like, Ma, just drive through the red light. Just drive. I just drove. At least I'm calling, nobody's picking my calls. So I called one guy, one bike, and he said, just come to 37. I said, where is he? Is he okay? Is he alive? So just come. So I just said a prayer out loud in front of my daughter. I said 2 things to God. I said, if it's my son and he's in a lot of pain and suffering, cut it short. As a mother,
really?
I don't want to go there and even meet him in pain and suffering. 2, if he's going to survive and be in a vegetative state, I don't want that for him either. He was a very lively boy who loved life. I don't want to put him through that. I don't want to put his sister through that, growing up, seeing her brother in that state. So
that's an interesting prayer.
So I'm not thinking of myself in a selfish way. My son would not have wanted to live in a vegetative state. Those are 2 prayers. So I was like, Mom, why you? It probably is not even him.
Your daughter heard you saying the prayer.
She says, but probably it's not even him. I said, it is. I just felt it. You call him 1, 2, 3, he's responding. This is like by the time the first call came, and like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. So I remember us getting into 37, the accident in emergency car park. And as I turned, there was like probably 100 bikers and bikes there. Like the place was a sea of bikers. Like me, I've not called anybody. The place was full. Like I parked my car. So as I was coming out of my car, his best friend's mom, and then my riding instructor. And my riding instructor, who I called and said, "Listen, there's been an accident there. I'm calling Junior. I suspect there's something very serious going on because I'm not able to." He started coming towards me, so I asked him like, "What is going on?" Like Junior, he said, "I'm sorry." So he said, so I just threw myself on the floor. Remember my daughter running in one direction, and I just said, "I want to see him." The next one, they took me to some room, and he was lying there, just like he was asleep.
Man.
Just like that. I mean, it's I say that is the worst way to lose someone is in an accident, because you haven't had any time to process it mentally. If you have an old parent or grandparent or even a child that is very ill, and they tell you they are terminal, it's a cancer or kidney something, you know that ultimately down the line you're going to lose them. But this is fit boy.
How old was he then?
He was 21. He had one more paper to finish university and go to the UK to do his master's. He was 6 weeks away from his 22nd birthday. He left Oyarifa on Tuesday evening. I spoke to him Thursday morning, afternoon on video call. Nothing wrong with him. And by 8 p.m. he's lying there lifeless. Just like that. Just like that. And infrastructure in this country, they are not able to tell me. I don't know what happened to him. The story is too many cameras not working. Like, just like that.
And then this is your son who would rather warn you, of the dangers of...
Very experienced rider, for that matter. I don't know what happened. It's on a road, he rode every day with his best friend. It's like his area. I don't know what happened.
I mean, I don't even want to imagine what the days after that and the months after that, how difficult it would have been for you.
So, yes, immediately after I started thinking to myself what I want to do, like, in honor of him, keep his memory alive and that. And that's when I decided I will launch a foundation in his honor, an NGO targeted at motorcyclists, motorcycle road safety and awareness and advocacy in his honor, because Richard was the kindest person alive. Like, he will give the clothes off his back to help someone else. Like, he will ask me for money, always asking for money, and you think he's using, but later on, people I didn't know came to me and they were telling me the kind of things he was doing for them, and I was like, this boy was an angel. I didn't even know. Like, if other people around him are okay, he's fine. If he doesn't even have anything. So I started thinking around what I want to do in his honor and all that. And then just before his funeral, I buried him 2 weeks. He died on a Thursday. He was Yao. I buried him on a Thursday. Yao. And I made a video. Somewhere on my social media, I said that at his 1 year anniversary, I was going to launch the foundation. So it's the IYBJ Foundation, Richard Yalboatin Jr. Foundation, in his honor. And I'll prioritize motorcyclists and motorcycle road safety, because a lot of things went wrong at the scene of the accident. How he was handled, they let him lie there for over an hour bleeding out. He was still alive. Nobody wanted to stop and take him to the hospital. Later, people called me and apologized that they are sorry. They didn't know it was my son. They would have taken him to the hospital. They saw him lying there. And I'm like,
they saw him?
So it's only somebody you know personally that you will help? So it's finally some lady. She works at Okadeco. I never forget this lady. She actually took him in her car. 237. But the whole, even how he was moved to the side of the road, the guy who took the helmet off, forced the helmet off, could even be the reason. I don't know. The neck fracture, I don't know. But there's so much education out there to do. I mean, he was lying there still breathing. People started dismantling his bike, parts from the bike. They were stealing the battery, stealing parts.
Within the 1 hour that he was there?
Took his phone from his pockets and all that, people took pictures and videos which were circulating on social media. Yeah. How will I feel as a mother or his sister? The guy who put him in the woman's car took pictures and videos of him in his dying moments and posted them a year later on social media.
Are you kidding me? The lady from Okadeko you talk about?
Not the lady, the guy.
Oh, the guy, right,
who
right.
stopped her and she was driving. So
Yeah.
So there's a lot of education and a lot of work to be done.
That's sickening. I mean, that's very insensitive.
It is terrible. So, and even when he was lying there before the car, so my question is that, I mean, if you had time to even video and all that, were you really actively stopping the car to try and take it, or were you? So there's a lot of work to do there, a lot of insensitivity, a lot of. Someone's dying, you're picking their phone.
Exactly. I mean,
one day.
You see that a lot on social media now, and you wonder what kind of hearts are we beginning to develop.
Yeah,
you
took
know,
out their phone and they were filming my son.
Yeah.
But if I follow those things, Papa Bio, you know, I feel that he probably was taken away from me early for a reason. But if I followed what happened at the scene of the accident, I probably will never help anybody again in my life.
But speaking about doing good, that's a very healthy way, you know, to heal and recover.
Exactly.
The thing that I can't get over is the fact that the dangers with bike has not changed.
No, I don't know.
It would never change.
No, not.
No matter how experienced you are as a biker, the risks are very obvious every time you sit on the bike.
Yes.
Why are you still riding, Elsa? Why are you putting yourself in harm's way every time?
We are going to die one day.
That's for sure.
We all die one day.
That's for sure.
If I would die in my bed, I will still die in my bed. I think everybody, your destiny is written for you from day one of how you will die. My passion for riding is my passion, and nothing can stop me from riding unless I probably lose my limbs or something. It's as simple as that. People ask me, how come I still ride when riding is what took my son away from me?
Absolutely. And this is your only son.
Yes. And I say to them that ironically, that the thing that has destroyed 50% of my life, I still live for my daughter Zara. Zara will be 17 next month. But ironically, it's the very same thing that gives me some relief and gives me the therapy I need when I'm down, when I miss him, when I feel like I've lost everything.
I saw the video you did about, you know, how this is a healing process for you.
That is what makes me heal.
How do you heal? And again, I'm just imagining I'm not a biker, right? But sometimes when you go through stuff, the things that give you triggers about pain, past pain and stuff like that, you use the route that he died, you know, sometimes I'm sure.
Yeah.
Today you use the road, and you probably remember the very exact point where, you know, the accident happened. How does that make you heal? When I'm thinking that this thing could only bring back memories.
I have devised ways to turn my pain into something positive.
Right.
To do for other people, because the dangers will never stop. Drivers have very little regard and respect for bikers.
That's true.
And he's gone. What am I going to do about it? It's not going to bring him back. The advocacy that I'm doing for motorcyclists, motorcycle road safety, it's more real if I'm a biker myself, because I am in that space. I face that danger every day when I use those roads.
Right.
I'm not just saying it. I am one of them. It appeals to people more. It is more realistic. It is more honest. It is more... If I'm not a biker and I am advocating, it's not the same
safety.
thing. I ride those streets every day. I face those dangers every day. I'm at risk every day.
Have you had your own near-death experiences too?
And maybe not near death, but I did have an accident in Ivory Coast last year.
Talk to me. Talk to me about
There's
that.
There's a video on
I saw you were talking about head-on and you know, entering gutter.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
you've seen it all already.
Yeah, I was trying to understand what's going on here. You know,
but I mean, I say to people that I lost my son at 21. That minor accident when I cut my nose. It's nothing. I'm lucky to be alive.
What happened with that incident?
We were riding back from Ivory Coast, Yamoussoukro, getting towards Abidjan, and some border. Got to the border, and then they said, "Oh, bikers, we don't pay for the toll, so we should come back and go the other way." So
Okay.
some of the guys went, so I was following them. I didn't see that where they went. There was some gutter.
Right.
Well, by the time I reached the gutter, and there's nothing I can do to avoid it. So
You were right there.
I tried to jump over it and do a star, but I'm fat.
Oh,
So,
Charlie.
before I know, no, brag in the gutter head first. So but the helmet that I had on, it has like some drop down sunglasses inside.
Okay.
It's sunglasses,
It cuts your nose.
charming. If you look close, you can still see
Yeah, I can
some-
see it. I can see it there.
But I mean, I tried to get up, but Honana said, luckily it was a brand new gutter being constructed. Nothing was in it. So the guys came and ran. Oh, can you? No, I was fine. And I still continued riding. But it's a minor. I mean, I was spending time today with one of my friends who had an accident. It'll be 3 weeks on Sunday. I won't mention his name, but he's a senior biker in the biking community.
Right.
On my road, on the Oyaefa stretch. Some guy crossed him at a U-turn, hit him off his bike. He's had surgery in 3 places. His pelvis, his side,
you
his waist.
kidding me?
He has metal in 3 places, yeah. I mean, Sunday will be 3 weeks. Today is 2 weeks from the accident. He's recovering marvelously. I told him even today, I said, your life is a living testimony. You've been given a second chance. Richard was not given a second chance. To sustain those injuries.
Would you advise your friend who's recovering now?
Yeah.
When after surgery he's healed, would you still recommend if you saw him again on the bike?
Yes.
What would you think of him?
I can't judge him. Same way people, you see, if you're not a biker, you don't understand.
What is it then?
Motorcycling is addictive. It's therapeutic. It's in a world of its own.
Really?
But if you look on social media, you see people with amputated legs and hands, and
Absolutely.
they are still going on.
And again, we keep asking why. Why?
But so also Biaja riding, I should never sit on a bike again.
Exactly.
I've taken motorcycling to higher realms. So who am I to judge somebody? I cannot. I know that he might ride again, and then when his people around him I say, don't leave him to heal, and the decision is his to make.
Yeah.
If he will ride or he will not ride again, it is his decision. You can't judge anybody. You can't judge. In this life, everybody lives their life
For themselves.
Yes,
But you have Zara.
I do.
I'm sure Zara sometimes is looking at mommy and thinking,
Yeah.
Richard died through biking.
I remember the day it happened on the way to the hospital. She says, if really it's Richard and he's died, I swear, Ma, you'll never ride again. I can't lose you too, she said. It's been very difficult for her to process and to accept it, but she has come to learn and accept that riding is in my... I have a whole room in my house, which
I saw it on social media. I thought it was a shop. No, I thought it was a shop, guys. She has literally...
another box came 2 days ago.
Are you kidding me?
Because planning a trip to Morocco, but...
You're planning to ride to Morocco.
Yeah, but it's been put on a hold because of my wrist thingy. So I have to leave it for a while. But I mean, it's an unending thing. This is the thing. It's a passion. Just say and I'm inside. And no perspective.
Into what train when now you try no one say trap before you decide you're
You know
not.
what I'm saying is if I'm not incapacitated,
Yeah.
why should I stop riding?
Also, you can afford any vehicle in this world.
Yeah, but I
because
like to
your
ride.
sports is not cheap. And the collection of a friend is saying helmets in your money crop. Okay, kind of now, one
So no,
it's meter range.
I'm not pay.
But bike now pay.
I'm not pay.
You love the adrenaline. You love the you love the risk involved. You love the
Oh, not even only that. But for me now, no, because of what happened to my son as well. Anytime I ride, I feel like he's around me.
you feel like you're connecting with him.
Yeah. For me, I have taken riding to the next level, even now more than before since he passed. It's because I feel connected with him. So I'm not going to stop riding. I know that my siblings in the UK, my mom, everybody.
I was gonna say that.
they think I'm
I was
crazy.
gonna ask
They
how.
think I'm crazy. So I did that video when there's a video I put out there a couple of months ago when I said I'm going to answer the most controversial question that has ever been asked to me. So I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah, and then people now inbox me and they were like, oh, now they understand it, because they were like judging me and wondering like why, like, and I listen. And then I just like, nobody does it for me. Like, who gives 2 Fs anyway? How many times people call me to ask me, have you gone over your son? And like, life goes on. It suits my soul. When I ride, I feel like he's around me. That's maybe maybe one day I'll wake up and decide, say, I don't want to do it again, but for now, no. And then I'm energy. Not only that, the passion that I have lots of youngsters and people look up to me, come to me on social media and tell me that I motivate them. The strength that I have, even after what I've been through, having lost my son and all that I still. It makes them realize that
through the same spots that you were actively in.
Yes, so it gives them some strength. So it's not only, it's deeper than just the motorcycling. I'm motivating, I am inspiring. It's a story, it's a real life story that has happened, and it's not just about sitting on a bike and riding. It's deep.
I know, female riding groups and all of that. And initially when I saw your page, I thought that you were a member of, one of the female groups, but you like to ride with the guys.
Yes.
I mean, you're like the girl, you are the girl amongst the guys.
Yes.
Why do you prefer to ride with the guys? I mean, no, don't take this wrongly. Guys naturally tend to be very extremely adventurous and it can be a bit callous sometimes.
Drama.
Drama.
I came into motorcycling for therapy, for relaxation, to have fun, to let my hair down, from all the other stresses. Where you say.
Have you tried riding with them before?
Oh, I don't want to get into that. I love riding with my guys. I have formed a group myself, the Tenere Bikers GH.
Okay.
My second bike is a Tenere. I'm the only female in it. I formed a group, and I love it. Omoje Jim is so me, they pamper me. Don't get me wrong, there's a few female bikers I'll ride with another, but I don't want to be formally associated with
them.
I'm not saying they are full of drama. We are full of drama.
Right.
Yes. Me, I'm a whole package by myself.
I know.
Yes. Because so I roll differently.
Let's talk about, money. Your sports is not expensive. And I've seen your bikes. Your bikes are not, they're not cheap, guys. You guys, I'm not talking about scooter. She doesn't have a scooter. How do you fund that? I mean, how much do you buy your bikes for?
Oh, I need to.
Oh, give me an average. Give me an average.
But I told you, so I bought both these. But I had one bike in 2022. Then March 2023 for my birthday, I bought this one, the sports one that I brought here.
The one you brought here. Okay.
Yes.
That's it. That's
a
bike
there. Give me a copy of this whole video. And
we'll give you. So what bike is this?
This is a Yamaha R7 sports bike.
Okay.
Yes.
You bought this as a present for your birthday.
For myself.
Nice one.
And then in November of the same year, I bought the Tenere 700, which is a very tall, high adventure bike, and then I'm just to Kwanko, all the other places.
Right.
And as I'm telling you, say all these bikes, price I'm a ton on no. This one now is like 3 times the price I bought it then. The bike, maybe at least double even, like from what I bought it then.
Yeah, but then was how much?
No, I don't want to.
Come on, Elsa. Come on. Just in case somebody sits somewhere thinking, Jale, me, a few thousands and I'm there.
Oh no.
This is in the excess of $100,000, right?
Oh no, not $100,000.
So give me figures.
Wow.
70,000, 70,000, 50,000.
It is an expensive sport. You need to be very passionate to be able to maintain this sport, because apart from the bike, it's all the riding gear, there's the gadgets, the cameras, the helmets, I've stripped both bikes and redone them, personally customized them from A to 2. It's a passion.
An expensive
It's a very
passion.
expensive passion.
Yeah. Let's talk about your advocacy and promoting safety. Riding and safety. How do you do it? What platforms do you use? Do you meet with young people?
Okay, so I've been part of some road safety campaigns here called Look Twice for Motorcycles Road Safety Campaign. It was one in July or June of 2022.
Okay.
I actually went with my son Richard. It was
okay.
It was on the Lima Highway.
Okay.
I have pictures even on my social media. I was with him. Then a couple of months later, we did one in Togo as well.
Okay.
In the French version, Regardez deux fois pour les motos, Look Twice for motorcycles.
Right.
I went along because they wanted me to translate from the English to the French because I'm half French. Last year, my son's 2-year anniversary, after I launched the fund, I've now done my own road safety campaign called Richard's Life Mattered Road Safety Campaign. So basically what we do is we this one was on Abekala Pass near the traffic light. We always pick high traffic zones.
Yeah.
Higher risks, more traffic, more people, more cars. It's more impactful. You get to interact with more people.
Right.
Stand there with brochures, banners, T-shirts, try and educate the public. So road users is not only motorcyclists. It's
So
drivers.
you're sensitizing them to be careful and look out for riders when you're on the road, but you're not necessarily saying that young people shouldn't ride.
No.
What's the direction of your message?
No, basically, we should. So from my angle, my campaign, it's it's for all road users. Basically, we are all road users, not just motorcyclists.
Yeah.
Pedestrians are road users.
Yes.
Pedestrian is part of what caused my son's accident. People in cars, whether truck, car, whatever it is, we are all road users. So let's all be sympathetic and conscious of each other. One person's action or inaction could result in something bad happening to the other person. Everybody. So we are all road users. Let's all be conscious and cautious of each other. Let's all look out for each other. And when you go out there, and the message from a lot of the drivers and people is they have this perception of, unfortunately, of motorcyclists. We are riff-raffs. There is some of the Okadas and some of them the way they. So they have this perception. So they are already angry on the road.
Let's stay on the perception bit. Even the Okadas, right? They don't rev their bikes like you guys do. Like I've seen some of your videos and you guys are revving and revving and revving and revving. That I think also contributes to the perception that you get. Don't you think so?
Probably, but also no. For instance, me when I'm going through the cars sometimes, one person will cross so they are conscious that there's a bike coming. You get someone opening a door in the middle of the street and all that, but I'll treat you with respect. Treat me with respect.
Right.
We are all
you're motor users.
Let's all
road
regard
users.
each other on the street. So, and I've been part of some sensitization to the what are they called? National Road Safety Authority.
Right.
When motorcyclists came, like the Okadas and those, you try and train them on how they also behave on the streets and respecting road regulation. You see a lot of these, the biking association where I come from, we don't. But you see these Okadas and things. I don't know. Sorry, the crowd. They are going.
Which is
by
wrong.
law. If a car hits you and you cross a red light, you are at fault. No sympathy.
Yeah.
So. It's from all directions. It's a cumulative effort.
Yeah.
We are all helping each other. We need sympathy from cars, the drivers, even the pedestrians. They should also acknowledge us. Definitely our sport is very dangerous. We are completely exposed. The risks are 50% or less than on a bike.
Absolutely.
And don't have a seat belt.
Absolutely.
You're not covered. But a human heading, then it's work which will take a long time.
Anyways, I do hope that your campaign and that of others would help to, send the message across. We've got to be wrapping up, but if Zara wanted to ride, would you encourage her to ride?
This question.
Your only child left.
It has already come up.
She wants to ride.
She's mentioned it.
Would you encourage her to ride? No.
And it's selfish in one way, but it's also selfish because I'm thinking of my selfish interest that you're my only child. I don't want to lose you. But it's a dangerous sport. I know what it can do. I know what it has done to us. And
No way.
I wouldn't allow it.
All right.
The truth of the matter, though, is I'm already 21 years.
There's not much you can do.
Exactly.
Elsa, thank you so much for this very candid conversation. I'm so happy that, we could speak about everything and anything. It tells a lot about your personality. Please be safe. Continue to be safe on the road.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the privilege. I appreciate
pleasure.
you reaching out to me. Shaibu, what's up to you? If you hear this and you see me, I enjoyed having this conversation with Mariam. I look forward to having more again.
Anytime. Guys, so that's Bikergirlel, right? Yeah, I got it right. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still the 3FM Drive. We're going all the way till 7. House Edition comes your way in just about 8 minutes. Don't touch your dial.